In the warm heart of Sierra Leone, in a quiet town called Kebela, stood a small house made of red clay and laughter. Inside lived Mama Kadiatu and her 3 children, Amara, the eldest who dreamed big, Sori, a curious boy with eyes full of wonder, and little Mariama, whose giggles could melt the hardest hearts. Their father, Ibrahim, had left for the city years ago to work as a driver, promising to return once he had built them a better home. Every evening, as the sun sank behind the hills, Mama would sit with her children under the old mango tree, telling stories about love, faith, and patience. A home, she often said, is not built with bricks, but with hearts that refuse to give up on each other. One day, a letter came. Ibrahim wrote that he was close to saving enough money to bring them all to the city. The children danced around the courtyard, their laughter rising like music. But Mama, though smiling, looked up at the sky. She had learned that time often tests promises before fulfilling them. Weeks turned into months, and months into a year. The children began to wonder if their father would ever return. One night, Amara asked softly, "Mama, what if Papa forgot us?" Mama smiled gently, brushing her daughter's hair. "A river may bend," she said, "but it never forgets its way home." Then, one quiet evening, a rumble echoed down the dusty road, a bus stopped, and out stepped Ibrahim, carrying a worn suitcase and tired eyes. But behind that weariness, there was love, the kind that distance cannot wash away. The children ran to him, shouting his name. He knelt, tears rolling down his face, whispering, "I told you I would come back." That night, under the same mango tree, they shared roasted corn and laughter until the stars filled the sky. But in Ibrahim's heart, he knew his return was not the end, it was the beginning of something deeper. Life slowly found its rhythm again. Ibrahim started a small carpentry workshop near the market, making wooden chairs and doors. The children helped after school, Amara took orders, Sori carried tools, and Mariama ran around the shop, singing songs she made up. But as the months passed, challenges came. The roof of their clay house began to leak during the heavy rains. The workshop sometimes had no customers. And though Ibrahim worked hard, money always seemed to slip through his fingers. Yet, every night, they still gathered under the mango tree to eat together. It was their sacred place, the heart of their family. One day, Ibrahim came home late, soaked from rain. "The landlord says we must pay more rent," he said quietly. "If not, we may lose this place." Silence fell. The children looked to their mother. Mama Kadiatu simply said, "We've built this home with love, and love does not fear storms." That week, Amara decided to help. She began baking small cakes and selling them at school. Sori crafted toy cars from leftover wood scraps, and Mariama delivered them to the market. Slowly, coins began to fill the family's old tin jar. Ibrahim, proud but humbled, realized that the home he dreamed to build in the city was already being built right here, not with cement, but with unity. One night, the rain came harder than ever before. The roof began to drip, but instead of panic, they gathered buckets, laughed, and sang songs together as the storm raged. It was not comfort that made them strong, it was togetherness. Years later, when the children had grown, the little clay house still stood under the same mango tree. It had been patched many times, but its walls held memories like sacred whispers. Amara had become a teacher, Sori a carpenter like his father, and Mariama a nurse. One sunny afternoon, they surprised their parents. They had saved enough money to build a new home right next to the old one. A home with a strong roof, large windows, and a front porch where Mama could sit and tell stories to her grandchildren. When the house was finished, Ibrahim stood quietly before it, tears in his eyes. "I thought I was the builder," he said softly, "but it was all of you who built this home." Mama Kadiatu placed her hand in his. "You gave us love," she said, "and love builds everything." That evening, they sat under the mango tree once again, now older, surrounded by laughter and the smell of roasted plantains. The golden sun dipped behind the hills as Ibrahim whispered, "Maybe dreams don't always live in cities. Sometimes, they wait for us right where we began." The children smiled, the birds sang, and the house, glowing in the fading light, stood as proof that no storm could ever wash away what love had built.